Hey dudes, welcome to Splat from the Past, the only 80s themed horror and sci-fi show where things can get totally radical. Now today, I'm having an elder stateswoman of the Bay Area comedy scene on today. I saw her the very first time she ever went up on stage at the Brainwashed Cafe in 2006. Her name is Sandra Risser. And I'm having her on the show today to find out what prompted her to go into stand-up comedy much later in life and what she did before comedy. And find out where she plans on going with comedy, how long she plans on doing it for, and what she has found since she has started doing comedy. It's going to be pretty good. Sandra is very funny. A sweet lady, and it's going to be cool. So yeah, here is my interview with Sandra Risser.
Hello?
Hey, Sandra.
Right, I was just going to call you.
Well, I beat you to it.
Yes, you did. But I didn't know you were Donna.
That's my mom's name. This is her landline.
Your mother.
Yeah, it's her landline.
Oh, you must be a comedian then.
Oh my God, I saw you the very first time you ever went up on stage at the Brainwash.
Oh my gosh.
I was there that night. Yes.
Oh, that was many, many years ago.
Yep, it sure was. And I had just started too. And I just was like, oh my God, good for her that she's starting later in life, because, I love people, who always start later in life,
Well, it's better than going under the ground.
Yeah. I remember too, after I went on maybe a couple of people after you, and I made that joke saying that you looked like Katherine Hellman.
Do you want to know that somebody at last night's show who came up to me? They went, "You look like that one that was on
Who's the boss?"
And I said, "Katherine Hellman." People have said that. Lots of other people.
Exactly, you do. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and we're both still going. That's pretty good.
Yeah, well, I've been taking a break the last few years after my car accident and all, but I still plan on doing it once I get to Los Angeles later this year. But I'm definitely still going.
Wait a minute. I didn't know about your car accident. I just knew you hadn't seen you around. What happened?
2015, it was a night of binge drinking with me and this other guy, and we got stuck in the middle of the road on the San Francisco highway, and we got hit by cars after we crashed our car. It was a big mess.
Oh, wow. You're lucky to still be alive.
Yeah, I spent 30 days in a coma, and I got back into comedy for about a year and a half after I recovered and stuff, and then things just got so bad. Other comedians were doing all these terrible things to me, and they're still doing terrible things to me long distance. I moved to Redding, where my mom is, to help her out with the rent after that.
Well, I was just up in Redding.
Oh, you were?
Yeah, at the Wind River.
Oh, you had a show there?
Yeah, Jake Daniels does a show every week there. Just a headliner and a feature.
Mm-hmm. Jake Daniels, I don't think I know him, but yeah.
He's the poor brother of Jack.
Jack?
Yeah, you got it. Oh, anyway. But yeah, show up there.
Yeah, it's too hot over here. It's really conservative over here. I haven't had the best time since I've been here. But I'm moving to LA later in the year, and I'm going to make my career happen out there because I've gotten all these contacts from doing this podcast.
Oh, fabulous. Wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know podcasts really, anybody listened to them.
Oh, yeah. People listen. All the comics out in LA, they have podcasts, and they get over 100,000 views on YouTube.
Okay, what makes a podcast?
It's,
Yeah.
It could be audio like this, which is kind of like a radio show, or it could be visual on YouTube, and, you have people on camera talking with headphones, kind of like a radio show as well. So it's...
I've done people, but do you have to have a special platform to put them on?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's what I don't know about.
Oh yeah, you got to have YouTube or SoundCloud or Spotify or any of those things to have a podcast. Yeah.
But I could record something, put it on YouTube, and call it a podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, fancy that. I guess I'm going to be doing a podcast.
You should. I mean, it's a lot of fun, and it's just, easy to get your name out there with it.
No, I'm going to do mine on essential tremors.
Nice.
Well, there's a lot of people that want to know about it and the operation I've been through.
Oh, yeah. So how did that go?
Yeah, it stopped enough of the tremors that people noticed.
Mm-hmm.
I still, the hand holding the microphone in comedy still shakes, so I either have to hold it two hands, but I can write my name now. I can almost draw a straight line. They're definitely, and some people say they can hear my voice is stronger. Doesn't wobble as much.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm very pleased, and I go in for a tune-up. I had my first...
A tune-up?
Well, okay, there are like 8 places on each of the electrodes that they can do settings. Mm-hmm. And that's what I call the programming. But so it's really a very thing, how do we balance where we're stimulating, and if it's next to this nerve, if we give it too much, something we don't want happens.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of fascinating. Anyway, so you get several programming and tune-up sessions till they can get you exactly where they want you.
Huh. I didn't know that. And my mom just got diagnosed with a certain type of tremors, but it's not one that's serious, though. And I mean, she'll have it for the rest of her life, but it's not serious. She just gets these random shakes.
Oh, well, if they're benign tremors,
mm-hmm.
With minor benign tremors, I call it essential because that was the first one in my family. They're familial if they run in it. But if it's the same kind, it progresses very slowly.
Oh.
I've had mine for 20 years.
Wow.
And it finally just got to the point it annoyed me enough that I decided to do something about it.
After 20 years, wow.
I know. Isn't that something?
God, I would have stopped it, within the first few months,
Oh, but it wasn't that bad. It was maybe what I will end up with after I'm all finished with what the doctors are doing.
Mm-hmm.
But, well, first off, what I'm having done wasn't FDA approved until several years after I was diagnosed.
Mm-hmm.
So I couldn't have it done then. Back then, they actually went in and destroyed part of the brain.
Wow.
And I wouldn't want that. I'd have to get, well, that's why I always said I'd have to get really bad before I'd let them do that. But now they have these other ways of doing it. I won't say getting rid of them, but they alleviate a lot of the shaking.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, yeah. So let your mother know that someday, if she wants it, she's probably younger than I am.
She just turned 65.
Yeah, she's younger than I am. By a good much. I make no bones about it since I say it on stage. I'm 77.
Wow.
Yeah, does that show how many years ago we were standing there at the brainwash?
Yeah, wow. So you almost were 65 when I met you.
Yeah. Uh-huh. I started comedy, I think I was 61 or 2.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's been a long time.
So what did you do, for most of your life before you started doing comedy?
Well, I can't say for most of my life because I kind of moved around and did things. I've taught 5th, 6th, and 7th grade math and science. I've edited high school achievement tests. I've done personnel research. Then eventually I got into computers, and I was in computers with the airlines, and then First Year State Bank, and then Bank of America for almost 20 years. That was my longest career.
Wow.
Yeah, and then I owned a travel agency.
Wow, you did all these different things.
Well, none of them very long, except for the computers. I love computers. They were neat.
Wow, so did you decide one day I'm going to retire and try stand-up?
No, I did not. Well, it started, let's see, I was 40. Well, when I was 40, I got I started working out at the gym because I noticed, the body kind of starts to sag a little. And then I decided that I would, get a trainer to help me a bit. And he kept talking about how I built such good muscles and things.
Mm-hmm.
When I was almost 49, I took up amateur competitive bodybuilding.
Oh.
I was building computers at the time. And that took a lot of time. But I learned I liked being on the stage.
Mm-hmm.
And I liked being the center of attention. So I went into, tried acting first. I always thought about comedy, but I didn't know how to get into it. Anyway, then eventually, I got laid off when Bank of America merged with Security Pacific.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I got my travel agency. And somewhere in that, I found out about the San Francisco Comedy College, and I started going to it.
Wow.
Learned how to write jokes. Yeah. And I believed it when people said, "Oh, the major clubs, they will never hire anybody your age." So I never even hung out at the Punchline till I've been doing comedy over 6 years.
Wow, I never went to the Punchline because I just thought that was really messed up to go every Sunday until you get on, and then I found out you got to do that in LA too. I'm like, God damn it.
It's worse in LA.
Yeah.
It's much easier up here. And as far as doing the major clubs, but at least we don't have a lottery system.
I know.
But when I started at the not when I started the Punchline, when I started comedy, Punchline actually had a list you put your name on.
Mm-hmm.
And it was only like maybe 3 months. Then by the time I started hanging out there, it was 6 to 8 months, and now it's 8 to 12 months. So there's always a new crew coming in.
Yeah, God, that's just ridiculous, you know.
Well, I'll have to admit that I do get work now at the Punchline and Cobb's because they're all the same. So, yeah, it's worth it. But in L.A., there are so many other open mics that industry comes to. They don't up here.
Yeah.
You know, if I run a room, no industry is ever going to show up here. But a lot of the rooms, and mics that have been around for a while in L.A., industry comes to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all over the place in L.A.
Yeah. So, if you're young, you can do it, which obviously you can. It's worth it. Because if you don't get stand-up comedy work, you might get a TV show. You might get to write for somebody. There's a lot of different things down there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's so many options. That's why I want to do it, you know. I mean, I'm aspiring to be a late-night horror movie host, and I'm going to be filming a pilot in May. Me and my friends are getting together in San Francisco, and we're going to film a pilot, and I'm really excited about it.
Oh, wow. That would be fun.
Yeah.
What is I have to ask you, what is a late-night horror movie host?
Well, right now in the Bay Area, they have Coffee 20 Creature Features on Saturday nights. You know,
Oh, okay, yeah. I've seen that as I'm coming home sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what you do. Oh, that would be fun to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm looking forward to trying that out and stuff. And
Yeah.
I've gotten to know the horror community from doing this podcast and going to conventions the last couple of years, and I think I got some support on my side with that.
Doing what conventions? They're podcast conventions?
Oh, horror conventions.
Oh, horror conventions. Okay. You lost me for a brief moment there.
Oh, yeah. They're all over the place now, both horror conventions and comic book conventions. And I go to them, and I network, and I meet people in the industry.
Well, now, I know about comic book conventions, but
yeah.
Well, that's true. They have to show, oh, come on, now I'm going to forget the name of it. My favorite one. Oh, shoot. It was a movie. It's a classic.
It could be anything.
No, it's not. Oh, come on. I'll think of it. I can even see the costumes. I just can't.
Is it a superhero movie?
Oh, no. The movie first came out maybe 20, 25 years ago.
Huh.
Rocky Horror Show.
Oh, the Rocky Horror Picture Show. That was 1975.
Yeah, I said a long time ago.
Yeah, Barry Bostwick. I met him at a convention a couple of years ago. He went to my high school.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, in fact, I know. I saw that when it first came out.
Mm-hmm.
And that was such a cult following grew with that.
We have a theater company up here in Reading that does it every Halloween, and
Do they? Oh, what fun!
yeah, oh God, it was so hilarious the way they did it when I first came up here 2 years ago. Oh God, they just did a really good production of it.
Oh, I would love that. I think I was in New York when I first saw that. In fact, I know I was.
Is that where you're originally from?
Pardon?
Are you originally from New York?
No, I'm from Sioux City, Iowa.
Oh, Iowa.
Yeah. Well, we went through my work. We did not go through where all I lived for those places. I have lived I grew up in Iowa, went to UCLA, then New York, then Minneapolis, Dallas, Kansas City, Redondo Beach, back to Kansas City, back to Redondo Beach, and then up here, I've lived in, Strawberry, Martinez, Concord, and Clinton.
Wow, that's a lot.
As I say, it's hard to keep in front of the creditors.
Oh, years ago, I dated a bartender from Iowa.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, she was a freak, I tell you.
Oh, you just think that way because I was different in California.
Well, no, I mean, she loved sex just as much as I did.
That makes her a freak? Yeah, what else is there to do in Iowa?
There are farms out there?
Are there farms? Yeah.
Well, okay, there you go.
Cornfields aren't as comfortable as they're made out to be. In fact, I wouldn't. Yeah. If the stalks are up, there's bugs, and if the stalks are cut down, then there's these little stubby things that would poke you.
Ooh.
That's only because if you've ever walked through a cornfield, you would know.
Oh, I don't think I want to.
Actually, it's kind of interesting to see how corn grows. But, like, I didn't know that there's only one ear per stalk.
Yeah,
Did you?
I mean, driving through the country back roads here and stuff with my mother and going through Bernie. Oh God, we see, so many, fruits and vegetables, being sold on the side of the highway and see how they're grown,
Isn't it fun?
Yeah, it's really interesting.
And then I drove from here to L.A. and back about 2 weeks ago. It's the first time I've ever driven through when almost all the fruit trees were in bloom. It was like, as far as you could see, there were these pink blossoms. It was like a whole sea of pink. It was really neat. I have no clue what kind of trees they were, but it was beautiful. Yeah, us people that just eat food, we don't know. Even though I grew up in the Midwest, obviously we weren't farmers then. We don't know how food is grown. If there's an apocalypse, we're all going to be wiped out.
I don't.
Well, thank you. Yeah.
I'm afraid of that thought.
Well, it's true. My sister, whose boys were reared in New York, they were going. She said something about going to a farm, and we can see how where milk comes from, how to milk a cow, or something. And one of her boys at that time, who was maybe 5, 6, he says, "Oh, I know how you get milk from a cow." And she says, "How?" He says, "You just tip it over and it comes out its mouth.
Ah,
That,
that never occurred to me.
yep, it's time to take these boys to a farm. You know, at least I know that's not how you get milk.
I know. Just like when I was a kid, I thought babies came out of the belly button.
They don't?
No, but they create a huge one for the mother.
Well, now that depends. I don't know. I've never had children.
Oh, you didn't?
No, except four-legged furry ones.
When you were telling me about all the jobs you had before you did comedy, I thought you were going to tell me that you were a housewife like Roseanne or Phyllis Diller.
Nope. I am a good cook. I did a lot of entertaining, but nope, never a housewife. Not in the marriage I'm in, nor in my previous marriage. Could I be considered a housewife?
No, you're one of the smart ones.
What?
You're
I'm sorry, my phone moved on my ear.
you're one of the smart ones.
Yes, I do agree. I was before my time. Because I do remember when I graduated college, my parents, you know, at that point, hey, it's time to get, now they really never said it's time to get married, but I knew what they were thinking. And it was like, I want to have a career. And my mother at times would go, don't you want to have children? And my father would go, now Faye, if she wants to have a career, we're very happy for her. But, yeah. I'm not sure it was a conscious decision, one or the other. I just never found the person I wanted to marry.
Mm-hmm.
So, or maybe I found the person, but they didn't want to marry me.
Mm-hmm. How many times have you been married?
Just twice.
Just twice.
Yeah. Haven't you been married? No?
Never. It's funny. For the time I was in high school till just before my accident, all I ever wanted was to find the right girl and get married. And now that I've been through hell, I don't want to go through hell again. I want a career and be successful. I don't care if I ever get married now.
How old are you?
I'm going to be 36 in a couple of months.
Oh, you got plenty of time. I didn't get married the first time till I was just a couple months shy of 35.
Mm-hmm.
And I still made a mistake. So, wait. Although, I know a good marriage, which I've got now, I wouldn't trade. But if anything happened to my husband, I think I'd rather be single. I certainly wouldn't want to break in another man.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think you've made a wise decision.
Yeah, and I'm not even sexually active anymore. I don't have any plans to be. I just want to focus on my career and stuff.
Oh, that's very, yeah. I think that sounds like a reasonable thing to do. And you never know. My husband's cousin, she had never been married. She was in her late 50s and met a guy, and suddenly they got married. And they've been very happy ever since. But, it's one of those, why all of a sudden, the right person came along at the right time.
Mm-hmm.
So, I believe in careers.
It does happen. It does happen.
Careers
careers and marriage.
Yeah, but they say most people spend more time planning the vacations than they do planning their careers.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why so many of us don't reach our potential. So you've got the chance to reach your potential.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which
I hope I do. Then I can say, I knew him when.
what's your plan for comedy?
What is my plan for comedy? To keep doing it as long as I'm having fun and I'm capable and can drive. I don't know what else to say at this point in time. I'm hopefully going to, I am on the 26th, I'm going to feature at the Punchline for one night. And hopefully that will lead to more featuring there. I feature on the road most of the time. A few places like Wind River, I headline at. And that's what I would just want to keep doing as long as it's fun.
Mm-hmm. Well, so you're playing Wind River a lot?
Once a year.
Once a year.
Yeah. Because he gets a lot of the same people back there.
Yeah, I've been here 2 years. Haven't been to any of the casinos, and I want to, because I love going to the buffet that they have, in casinos. And the reason why I haven't is because my mom has worked so much, and I don't, drive. And I plan on going to a casino at least once before I leave here.
Well, I actually don't like casinos. I don't like the smoke in them. I don't like gambling. I don't, I have to be at them. I don't like Las Vegas.
Huh.
I know that's heresy. But I don't like the whole atmosphere. But I go to them, I do them. And I think it's mainly the smoke. You don't drive.
Never driven.
How are you going to get around Los Angeles? It just dawned on me.
Uber, bus, whenever possible.
Wow. I was surprised because when I lived in L.A., we did not have the extensive bus and underground service and train that they have now. I got the map of that. I was surprised at how extensive it was.
How expensive?
Extensive, not expensive. Extensive with a T.
Oh, okay.
No, it's less expensive than barge.
Huh.
By a large amount. But I was staying in North Hollywood and had to go to the convention center. I took their underground, but it's probably not as extensive as, well, in fact, I know it's not as safe as New York. But I went down, I changed trains once or twice, and it just zipped me along right where I was going. It was wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Have you looked at the map?
I haven't really looked at the map, no. I should, though, when I go down there next month.
Yeah, get a map because it's, as I said, it was surprising to me. I didn't know they had built all that. But it looked like, and there'd be a lot of changes, that you could almost go from the Blacks Airport out to Pasadena.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, so you won't be as bad, depending on where you live, of course. That's the problem.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to live, somewhere in West Hollywood or something, because that's where all the clubs are at.
Yeah.
And stuff.
Yeah.
Do you remember Big Al Gonzalez?
Yeah.
He was living over by Grauman's Chinese Theater, And he told me 3 years ago that if I ever wanted to, I could stay with him and his wife. And I wanted to take him up on that, this year, but he moved to Texas because he was getting booked a lot out there. And I was like, damn it, what am I gonna do?
No.
I mean, I know a lot of people out there now, but still, I mean, he was gonna charge me only $300 to stay there.
Oh, wow. That's unheard of.
Yeah.
Well, but there are a lot of San Francisco comics that now live out there.
Yeah.
How many of them are actually making a living? I don't know.
Problem is, though, there's so many San Francisco comedians I don't get along with, and
why don't you get along with them? What'd you do?
That's not what I did. It's just the fact that I'm a disabled person who does stand-up, and they can't handle the fact that I got a good mind for it. It's jealousy,
Wait a minute. Okay. Now we got to start this over. You're disabled from your accident, I gather.
Well, I was always disabled. I have Asperger's syndrome, and I had scoliosis badly, and of course, with my broken leg, that doesn't make it much easier, from the accident, my broken leg, and yeah, so just the fact that there's a word I learned. It's called audacity. And I think audacity is why they're jealous. I don't think they're offended so much of the dirty jokes I tell on stage. They're offended that I'm telling them and not somebody else. You know what I mean?
Oh, I hear you, but that's weird.
It is weird. They have just never treated me good. Some of them have. I mean, I have some friends in the Bay Area comedy scene, but not a whole lot. And when the Me Too movement happened, this one comedian, Pete Munoz, decided to go on a campaign to try to make me persona non grata in the Bay Area comedy scene by saying that I did to a female comic what Louis C.K. did to other comics. And the scenario was that I did that while being driven back from an open mic by a female comic. And no female has ever given me a ride back from an open mic. So it's absurd,
Oh, that is weird.
Yeah. Starting all these rumors about me. And it infuriates me and it saddens me.
Well, yeah. And there's not much you can do, because the more you deny it, the more people say, well, yeah. Well, I'm glad I never heard it.
Yeah, well, it's in certain circles. Like you don't go to the Caravan Lounge in San Jose, right?
No, I've never been there.
Yeah, all the comics who hang out there basically are doing it, are spreading that rumor.
I wonder why.
They're offended that I'm so successful, especially now that I have a podcast and I interviewed over 400 plus celebrities.
Huh. Well, it's on them.
Exactly. Exactly.
I mean, no, that surprises me.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've known Pete a long time, but yeah, he can get.
He got a taste of his own medicine a couple weeks ago, from what I was told. Somebody made a fake profile and posted on the Bay Area Comedy Network that he was a serial rapist, and I didn't see that post.
No, I didn't either.
I didn't see the post. I saw Matt Goobser's response to it afterwards, where he was
What I didn't know what he was referring to.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was talking I talked to a couple of people afterwards about it.
Yeah.
And they told me, yeah, some guy had a fake profile. He posted this status on there saying that he was a serial rapist. And Matt took it down and apologized to Pete publicly. And that's when I saw it, like a half hour later.
I just saw I took down the post, blah, 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 fancy that. No, I didn't know what it was.
Yeah, and I was happy that he got a taste of his own medicine, finally.
Huh. Yeah, with this social media, it's just sometimes too easy to do bad things.
Mm-hmm.
It's also too easy to post stuff that you're then sorry you posted.
Yeah. But yeah, I had so many female comics unfriend me on Facebook after that happened, and including a couple that were on this podcast, and I had a great time talking with them, and I've known a couple of them for a while, and the fact that they take, his side and whoever else is saying this side, it's sad.
Yeah, it is. Although sometimes we, what's the word? We stick by people we shouldn't.
Yeah.
Defend, that's the word I was trying to come up with.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I have defended and then found out, oh, maybe I'm wrong. When there's, when somebody actually goes and files a police report, yeah, maybe the person did do it.
Yeah.
And when 2 or 3 people file police reports, then you've really got to look at yourself too. Oh, well, my father always said it never hurts to be nice to somebody.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Unless they get taken advantage of.
Well, but that's different. Then you've given them the chance.
Right.
Yeah. And I'm just recently, God, I can't even remember where I just read it. But somebody was complaining about somebody being a bigot or whatnot. Or they didn't like their political views.
Yeah.
And the response was, if you get to know them as a person and find out something about them, their family, their background, what they do for a living,
mm-hmm.
even if you don't find common ground, listen and discuss your views. And it is, I've always been that way.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if you're a conservative or a liberal. I'm willing to discuss with you. If
Right.
we can discuss the issues, pros and cons, and not that big, well, anything that side likes is bad. Yeah. Or as soon as you start to attack me because of what I believe, then we're done. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't care about a person's political beliefs either. I am a true, open-minded liberal, and I don't care what another person's beliefs are, But
Good, then we can discuss them because I'm an open-minded conservative.
yeah, oh my God. Okay, I have very conservative godparents, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't know, but I'll say right.
Yeah, but they make me uncomfortable though, because they said something that just, oh my God, I could not believe they said it. It sounded so racist. They said that they don't. Okay, I've auditioned for America's Got Talent 3 times, and I haven't gotten on. And we were talking about it, and they said that even if I did get on America's Got Talent, they wouldn't watch it because it's on NBC, and NBC is run by Democrats. And that made me so uncomfortable because...
Are you serious?
Yes. Do you know what that's like to me? To me, being an open-minded liberal? To me, that's like saying, oh, I'm not going to associate with this person because they're black or Jewish or gay or a woman. You know, I associate it with that.
I'm sorry, that definitely goes above and beyond any, because first off, I'm not sure how they know that, except that most of Hollywood is, what can they watch?
Right.
I mean, that means that 90% of the movies they can't see because the stars are Democrats. Oh, I'm sorry, that's almost goes to the point that it's almost funny.
Yeah. Yeah, she said that, and this happened over a year and a half ago or so, right? They wonder why I distanced myself from them, and I'll never tell them why because of this. And it's okay anyways, because they were not around the first 20 years of my life. They distanced themselves from my family because of my dad, because my dad borrowed money from them and didn't pay them back, and all this other stuff, and it's fine with me, you know. But yeah, that makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah, well, I think almost at the time, if I wasn't too shocked, I would have to want to say, why in the world would you say that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, but that's like many of the, and I want to say Muslims, but I know a lot of Muslims, the Muslims from Iran, you know, the hardcore.
Right.
And they say they want to boycott everything that has anything to do with Jews. And it's like, okay, does that mean that you're no longer going to get vaccinated for polio? Does that mean that if you get syphilis, you're not going to, take the medication? You're not going to be tested for tuberculosis? Because all those things were done by Jews.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, some people, they just don't know what they're talking about.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. There's an actress and stunt woman in Hollywood that I'm friends with. She's been on the podcast before. She's going to be coming on again soon. She's very conservative, and she all her beliefs are completely the opposite of mine. She's a Trump supporter. She believes that John Wayne wasn't racist, and all these other things, right? But her and I get along so well because we both have such a sick and twisted sense of humor.
Yeah, but being a conservative, she can't get along with most of Hollywood.
Yeah, and yet she gets work, which is ironic.
Yeah, that is.
I mean, I've brought her name up to several other people in the business, and they look like they cringe at hearing her name.
Yeah, I'm sure they do. Well, I guess, when I say I'm a hardcore conservative, I guess on some issues I'm liberal. So
Yeah.
I must not be totally hardcore.
But she's not, she's not like, my godparents. I mean, she loves and accepts everybody. And also, she had an accident like mine, too. And so, yeah, she's very empathetic that way.
Well, the accident, that's bad. That is very bad. I hope you've learned your lesson and stopped going with people who drink and drive.
Oh, let me tell you, I couldn't drink if I wanted to, because if I do, my liver will bleed. So So I've been sober since it happened, and I will never get in a car with a drunk person ever again.
Yeah, it's the driver. Yeah. Uh, but it does go to show how important a designated driver it really is. Well, I was a designated driver long before the term because my first husband ended up being an alcoholic.
Mm-hmm.
I drive men to drink.
You drove men to drink?
Yeah. Well, he wasn't an alcoholic when we got married. Oh, we drank heavily back then.
Sometimes
Come on. I think young people, well, I wasn't so young. But I think we do drink more when we're younger.
Mm-hmm.
And our brains develop and we say, wait a minute, maybe that's not such a good idea. And then we get older and we go, oh, that kind of upsets my stomach. I've got a headache. Maybe I shouldn't drink so much.
Yeah, oh my God. Yeah, sometimes I think my mom, as much as I love her, I think that's what she did with my dad and her first husband. I think she drove them to drink.
Well, I haven't driven my second one to drink. So maybe I'm safe.
I wonder where he is now.
My first husband or my second?
The second one.
On an airplane.
He's drinking on the airplane.
Well, he might have one, but not any more than that. Now, we got to know them, choose wisely the second time.
Oh my God. So I wanted to ask you, being an elder stateswoman in Bay Area comedy, has that enabled you like not to be hit on constantly?
Yeah. As they say, an old woman's vagina is like Australia. Everybody knows it's there and nobody cares.
Because I'll tell you, the women comics who unfriended me, right? They're doing comedy for the wrong reasons. They have their various reasons as to why they're doing comedy. And that's one of the major problems they have. Because, okay, it's one thing about getting deliberately hit on by some guy who's a total creep, right? But then they get offended by hearing dirty jokes, whether it's directed toward them or indirected toward them and stuff, And it's like you're getting into the wrong business,
Well, part of me wants to say that I think young women today
mm-hmm.
want things to be too PC or take offense too easily.
Exactly.
There is a difference between having your boob and a man saying, hey, you're kind of cute.
Mm-hmm.
Something of the sort. And I think that the whole PC thing has gotten totally out of hand.
Yeah, I agree.
And when you say men hitting on me, no. I get hugged from 90% of the men and women in my audiences.
Oh.
Not 90%, 50%. And it's like, some will say, can I give you a hug? I say, yeah. I am just huggable. I hug the comics. And yeah, if a woman's younger, she might say, oh, well, he's hitting on me. No. There's something huggable about, they're inspired by what you said. I I don't know. I do get upset about that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm certainly the one who says you're kind of cute. I don't inappropriately touch women. That's not how I was raised. And if my parents found that out, oh, they'd kick my ass.
Yeah. And as far as dirty jokes are concerned, if somebody tells one and you say, why would you tell a joke like that? Or you walk away. You don't have, if you're in the green room, you can say, hey, you can just say something.
Right.
I would prefer not to hear that. But I think dirty jokes can be funny. It's the same as a dirty comedian. Some dirty comedians are funny, some are just plain filthy. And if it's a funny joke is a funny joke. That's my feel.
Absolutely.
But again, I was raised in a different era. Yeah. Well, it was. You don't just always blame other people. You've got to take responsibility yourself.
Exactly.
It comes down to. Although I do have one rape joke now.
Ooh, can I hear it?
Sure, because I love it. Okay, I have to start with, because it becomes a callback to it. At the beginning of my set, I say at my age it's difficult to get a young, hard-bodied man to kiss you. So I go to the swimming pool and pretend I'm drowning.
That's good. I like that.
Now, far down into my set. Don't you just hate it? If you're driving home all alone, it's late at night, your house is dark, and there's a police presence just a few doors up from you. Happened to me the other night. I came home, there's 3 doors up, there's a police car in the driveway, 2 more police cars, one on either side of the driveway, and one across the street. And I'm thinking, I want to know what's happening. Because if there's a robber in the neighborhood, I need to know about it. If there's an escaped criminal in the neighborhood, I want to know about it. If there's a rapist in the neighborhood, I want his phone number. And then, come on, ladies. Oh, I want his phone number. Don't judge. I don't get much action anymore now that they've banned me from the swimming pool. Oh, come on, ladies. Admit it. Those men in those tiny little Speedos, they're asking for it, aren't they?
That's good.
Well, I do get the women on my side on their asking for it, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Because we've heard that all our lives. Well, she was wearing a skimpy skirt. She's asking for it.
Yeah. I was watching Airplane 2 the other day, and there was that joke. The kid knows that his father's a rapist, and so he's like, in outer space we're not gonna hear about the rape trial, are we? And then he grabs his kid by the shirt and says, "A man can make an honest mistake. The girl was asking for it. They're asking for it all the time."
Oh, there were so many movies like that couldn't be made today because of PC stuff.
No, they could be made because nobody watches movies anymore.
Oh, sure they do. They just watch them on Netflix.
Yeah. Or Amazon Prime.
They still come to the movies, that's for sure. And if not, my nephew's in trouble. produces movies. Good movies.
I have this one joke on stage where I say, "Hey ladies, fun fact: if by the time I masturbate the third time in a row, I whimper like a puppy."
Oh, poor baby.
It's very sensitive.
Yeah. It would be at that point.
Oh my God! One of my favorite jokes that I love to tell on the podcast. This is a public domain joke that just kills me. Um, Cinderella is about to go to the ball, and she's on her period, and the fairy godmother gives her these magic tampons and says, "Okay, you can go to the ball, but be home by midnight, or else they'll turn into a pumpkin." Cinderella says, "Okay, fairy godmother, I will." So 12:30 a.m. rolls around. Fairy godmother is pacing around the house because Cinderella hasn't shown up yet. But then she does show up at 4 a.m. and she's stumbling drunk. And the fairy godmother says, "Where were you? You were supposed to be home at midnight." And Cinderella's like, "I'm so sorry, fairy godmother. I met this great guy and we danced all night. His name was Peter Peter."
Oh, God.
I love that joke.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
So how many people get it and how many don't?
9 out of 10 people get it.
Okay.
I had this one woman who suffered from bipolar that didn't get it right away.
Well, that's okay.
Yeah. But yeah, a lot of people love it though and stuff. And they've like messaged me later and told me that they told that one to their girlfriends at a dinner party and they got a huge response.
Yeah, it is actually very good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so how long do we go here?
Well, I think we can wrap it up now.
Okay.
Well, Sandra, do you have any? I know you mentioned before that you have shows coming up, but if you want to, plug them again, go right ahead.
Oh, my. All right. On March 14th, I headline Grapes of Laugh in Campbell. I'm in San Mateo for an LGBTQ show.
Mm-hmm.
On the 16th, on the 15th. Then I'm at the Punchline on the 26th featuring. I'm at Tommy T's on the 28th to, it's a neat fundraiser. I've got to talk about it. It's to get money to help underprivileged girls be able to get prom dresses. So it's a neat thing to do. But now if people care, sandrarisser.com, all my shows are on my website. How's that?
Exactly. That'd be great. I've been hearing a lot lately about the LGBT Center. They opened like right after I left. That's great that they have one now in San Mateo.
Yeah, and Jesus and Justin Rufus, I'm assuming that Justin is also part of producing the show. They are both two of my favorite LGBTQ people.
Yeah. Oh my God. Jesus. Oh my God. When I first met him, I had such a crush on him. Like I was always trying to get him to come over to my place and stuff, and he never did it. He knew what was on my mind. He knew it.
Oh, he is just adorable.
He is. Oh my God. He's a cutie patootie.
Yeah. Another person I think is adorable is Sergio Novola. I don't know how to pronounce his last name.
Sergio
and
Naveau. I don't think I know him.
a lot of good groups. But yes, they are all good people.
Absolutely. Well, Sandra, I hope those shows go very well for you, and I'm so glad that we got to do this today.
Me too. I thank you, and I wish you lots of luck in Los Angeles.
Oh, thank you so much. Yes, it's going to be pretty interesting that I get to start this next chapter in my life.
Yep. Well, good luck and keep us informed.
I sure will. You have yourself a great day.
You too. Bye.
Bye-bye. Well, there you have it. Sandra Risser. Ain't she a sweetheart? Thank you so much, Sandra. I love talking to people from what we've been calling for the past 40 years or so, the old country. Get to talk about, classic stuff and talk about life issues from the elder statesperson's point of view. Thank you so much, Sandra. You're going to do great in Bay Area comedy. You already are, but you're going to keep going. If you like this video, everyone, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Add me as a friend on Facebook. Join my Tommy Kovac comedian page on Facebook. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram and all that fun stuff. Well, that's all the time we have this week on Splat from the Past. Until next time, this is Tommy Throwback Kovac saying, there's no shame in living in the past, because the present sucks. Later, dudes!